My beloved child, it is not by accident that you are here. Take a breath and come sit beside me. There is a fire in your heart that can either burn or illuminate. Anger. You have felt it, like a flame in your chest, hot and heavy, whispering that if you unleash it, you will be free. But too often that fire scorches not only the ones you aim at, but those you love most, and even your own soul. Let me tell you the story of Joseph. Joseph was a quiet man known for patience. But one day, under layers of stress and unspoken hurt, he snapped. His teenage son came home late again, smelling of cigarettes. Joseph's hand trembled as he shouted, his voice rising. He picked up a chair and hurled it at the wall. The chair shattered, the sound echoed down the hallway. His wife and daughter rushed in, faces pale, hearts pounding. No one was physically hurt, but something broke that night. His children saw a side of him they'd never seen. Trust burned away. Even years later, after Joseph learned to control his temper, the memory of that chair haunted the family. He apologized repeatedly, realizing his moment of rage stole a sense of safety from his home. He loved them. He only wanted respect. But his anger turned him into someone even he did not recognize. Now hear about Maya. Maya grew up where anger was constant, like rain, cold and unavoidable. She carried that storm into motherhood. One afternoon, her 4-year-old spilled juice. Maya felt the familiar fire rise, her muscles tensed, her voice ready to shout. Then she saw her child's small hands and remembered how often she was shamed for small mistakes. Maya knelt down, breathed deep, and whispered, "It's okay." She hugged her daughter and wiped the juice away. Something shifted. Each time anger rose, Maya learned to pause, breathe, and choose gentleness. She broke a generational cycle of yelling that had echoed through her family. Her home isn't perfect, but it is peaceful. Her daughter makes mistakes, but she knows love is bigger than spilled juice. Do you see the difference, my child? Anger can bind you to pain or teach you to heal. Joseph allowed his anger to control him, leaving scars. Maya felt the same spark, yet chose love over rage. You are not powerless over your anger. You are not defined by your worst moment. Today is the day you learn that the fire in your chest can warm hearts rather than burn bridges. My beloved child, anger rarely starts with what you see. It grows from roots, old wounds buried deep. Consider Lucas. After years of loyalty, he was passed over for a promotion. At home that night, he lost his temper over a card game, shouting, "No one respects me." His friend left, hurt. The friendship shattered. Later, Lucas realized he wasn't angry at his friend. He was reacting to feeling undervalued since childhood. He apologized, but the damage lingered. His anger stemmed from a deeper pain he never healed. Now think of Raj, who also lost a promotion. He felt the burning in his chest. Instead of exploding, he called his father. "What are you really hurt about?" his father asked gently. Raj realized the rejection triggered old scars, years of feeling unseen. He wrote down his pain, confronted his boss respectfully, and then sought a job where his skills were valued. Raj used anger as a mirror to find the true source of hurt. He didn't lose relationships. He found a path aligned with his worth. Your anger is a mirror, child. It shows you where you still bleed. Don't smash the mirror in frustration. Look into it. If you carry resentment, life reflects bitterness. If you carry grace, even those who oppose you are disarmed by your peace. Healing comes when you find the root and tend to it rather than slashing at leaves. When anger rises, ask yourself, is this about now? Or is it echoing a wound from long ago? Recognizing the difference is the first step toward peace. My beloved child, sometimes anger does not merely scorch feelings. It raises entire lives. Imagine Peter. He was proud of the house he built and loved his family dearly, yet beneath his smile simmered years of resentment, feeling underpaid, unsupported, unseen. One evening, a financial argument erupted. In a moment of fury, Peter knocked over a gas can in the garage and lit a match, intending only to scare his family. Within seconds, flames roared higher than he imagined. By the time he realized the house was ablaze, his family escaped, but the home and their sense of security were gone. Consumed by guilt and unable to face what he'd done, Peter isolated himself. He could not forgive himself. In despair, he took his own life. leaving his family not just homeless but fatherless. His uncontrolled anger destroyed everything he loved. Contrast Arya, who grew up with rage as her soundtrack. When a friend betrayed her in college, she sped through the night, fists clenched on the steering wheel, screaming at the injustice. She nearly wrecked. Shaken, she pulled over. The car idled, she cried. In that silence, she promised herself, anger would not kill her. She sought counseling and found her anger was grief disguised. She began to practice meditation and took up gardening. Tending to plants calmed her. Over time, she channeled her frustration into activism for mental health. She formed a support group called Anger to Alive, teaching others to express anger through art and movement. Today, her anger still flickers, but she directs it into planting seeds, literal and figurative. What could have burned her life instead nurtures others. Child, the same fire that raises a house can also bake bricks to build a sanctuary. Peter's story warns that one impulsive act can end what love has built. Arya's story shows anger harnessed becomes healing. Choose to step back. Choose to breathe. Choose to build gardens, not ashes. My beloved child, anger doesn't always roar outward. Sometimes it turns inward, quietly corroding the soul that harbors it. Sarah was strong for everyone, until anger against herself nearly took her life. After years of swallowing insults, she internalized rage. She never yelled. She punished herself. One night after another argument where she couldn't stand up for herself, she overdosed on sleeping pills. She didn't want to die. She wanted numbness. Her sister found her in time and rushed her to the hospital. Sarah realized her anger at others had become anger at her own worth. She sought therapy, learned to speak her needs, and replaced self-punishment with self-compassion. Now when anger surfaces, she uses it as a signal that a boundary has been crossed instead of a reason to harm herself. She found life on the other side of pain. Tom faced a similar crossroads. After losing his factory job of 20 years, he felt betrayed. Anger stewed into self-disgust. He numbed with alcohol. One morning, he woke up slumped in his car outside the factory, crying. He considered ending everything. Instead, he called a helpline. It was the first time he voiced his anger without apology. The counselor told him, "Your job was not your identity." Tom channeled that fire into learning carpentry. At 53, he opened a woodworking shop and hired youth at risk of gang life, teaching them craftsmanship. His hands once clenched in fists now carve beauty. He still feels anger, but it no longer devours him. He uses it to fuel purpose. When anger turns inward, it can corrode your spirit. When you name it and redirect it, it can become a catalyst for new life. Ask yourself, am I turning anger against myself? What would it look like to turn it into a skill, a boundary, a voice? Healing begins when you stop punishing yourself for wounds inflicted by others. My beloved child, sometimes you carry a fire that isn't entirely yours. Anger can be passed down like an heirloom, generation to generation. Lynn grew up under her father's fury and his father before him. She promised herself she'd be different. Yet in stressful moments she heard her voice rising, saw her child's frightened eyes, felt the heavy chain of a pattern she vowed to break. One evening, she screamed at her son over a spilled drink. His terror mirrored her own childhood. She collapsed in tears. That night she called her siblings. Together they discussed their father's temper, the fear that haunted them all. They decided to seek family therapy. Sitting with their parents, they named the cycle aloud for the first time. It was messy, there were tears and arguments, but slowly, decades of rage began to thaw. Lynn learned to pause, breathe, and choose softness. Her son grew up knowing frustration was real, but love was louder. Then there's Koa, a musician. His father's temper was volcanic, often erupting over nothing. Koa's childhood was filled with slammed doors and shattered plates. As an adult, he carried that fire. But instead of repeating it, he poured it into songs. He wrote ballads about his father's anger, not to shame him, but to heal. Thousands listened and wept. Many told Koa that his music gave them words for their own pain. Koa transformed his inherited fire into sound waves that soothed. He broke the chain not by denying anger, but by transmuting it into art. You are not bound to repeat your parents' patterns. Your ancestors may have passed down fire, but you hold the water to extinguish it, or the clay to shape it into something else. Recognize the inheritance, honor the pain, and decide, will you carry this flame as it is, or will you transform it? My beloved child, if you do not learn, life has a way of repeating. When lessons go unlearned, you might find yourself reliving the same hurt with different faces. Meet Min, loyal to a fault. When friends were late or forgetful, he took it as disrespect. He would explode, cut ties, and convince himself he deserved better. Birthdays became lonelier each year as he pushed people away. One day he realized he was recreating abandonment, the abandonment he felt when his mother left him at age 8. He hadn't healed that wound, so he repeated it, punishing anyone who triggered it. When he saw the pattern, he sought help. He wrote letters to those he'd cut off, apologized, and rebuilt some relationships. Now he pauses and asks, am I reacting to the present or to an old wound? Instead of repeating pain, he chooses revelation. Then there's Maya, once quick to lash out at colleagues. She lost job after job because she couldn't control her temper. After her third firing, she reflected deeply. Journaling, praying, she realized anger was a shield against feeling small. She learned mindfulness. She practiced responding instead of reacting. She took responsibility and apologized. Over time, she became a team leader known for her patience. People marveled at her transformation. Maya learned the lesson, and the pattern did not return. Life will keep offering the same challenge until you change your response. Patterns persist not to punish, but to awaken. If you see the same hurt repeating, ask, what is the lesson I have not yet learned? When you learn, you graduate. If you don't, you remain in the same class. My beloved child, not all anger is destructive. There is a righteous anger that can move mountains when guided by wisdom and love. Remember Rosa Parks, a seamstress with a quiet but burning anger at injustice. She refused to give up her seat on a bus, not to harm, but to claim dignity. Her act ignited a movement. She didn't curse or destroy. She sat down firmly and peacefully. Her anger became courage, and courage transformed a nation. Closer to you is Tam, a teenager who watched his community park deteriorate because the city neglected his neighborhood. He felt frustration. Instead of vandalizing, he wrote to city council, started a petition, and organized cleanups. He rallied neighbors of all ages. Eventually, the park was renewed. What began as anger became action that blessed everyone. Righteous anger does not rush to destruction. It pours its energy into building justice. It speaks truth boldly, but without hate. It creates change without creating enemies. It knows the difference between burning everything down and lighting the way forward. When your heart burns for a cause, ask, am I acting out of love or vengeance? Guided by love, your fire becomes light for the world.
Dear Heavenly Father, tonight I come before you on behalf of every soul wrestling with fire inside. For those whose anger burns so hot they don't know how to hold it without getting burned. For those who lash out and then weep. For those who have been hurt and now hurt others. Teach us, Lord, that anger is not always an enemy. It is a sign that something in us needs your healing. Show us how to transform this raw flame into a light that guides us forward, a warmth that melts walls rather than scorches bridges. I pray for people like Joseph, who loved deeply but let frustration break trust. Give them courage to own their mistakes, to ask forgiveness, to choose gentleness. I pray for those like Maya, who inherited storms yet dared to break the cycle. Strengthen them to keep pausing, breathing, and rewriting their family's story. Help us all to see the roots of our rage. Old wounds, unmet needs, unspoken grief. Help us look into that mirror without shame so that we may pull out the weeds and plant seeds of patience, compassion, and self-respect. For anyone who feels like anger is turning inward, eating away at their peace, remind them they are worthy of kindness, including from themselves. Guide them to places of support, to counselors, to friends who will listen and help them heal. For those who use their anger to stand against injustice, Keep their hearts soft even as their voices are firm. Let their actions flow from love, not bitterness, so that their fire becomes a beacon of change rather than a torch of destruction. And for our world, Father, where anger and fear feel like the loudest forces, may a new alchemy occur. Turn our rage into mercy, our pain into wisdom, our bitterness into courage. Let peace rise in our streets and rest in our homes. Teach us to sit with those who differ from us and learn instead of judge. Thank you for hearing every whisper, every cry, every groan. Thank you for transforming what feels ugly in us into something good. Help us trust that no anger is beyond your healing touch when we surrender it to you. Amen.
My beloved child, if you've listened this far, you've already stepped out of anger's prison. Remember, anger itself is not evil, it is a signal. But you are more than your reaction. You are called to transformation. Every day offers a choice. Will you let anger burn you, or will you let it illuminate your path? If this message resonates, take a moment to reflect. Write down a time when anger taught you, healed you, or harmed you. Share if you feel led. Your story may help another find freedom. When you need a reminder, come back. There will be more messages, more healing, more light. Subscribe and journey with us, your lightning soul, so together we can turn anger into alchemy, pain into power, and fire into light. Go in peace.
I used to burn with words I never said. A storm inside my chest, a fire I fed. But silence turned to sorrow, pain I wore each day, till I heard a whisper in the flame that showed another way. Turn this fire into light, turn the rage into the night, where I can see what's real, not fight, where I can heal, not hide. Lord, take this fury in my soul and teach it how to glow. Turn this fire into light. I broke things I can't replace and pray that grace could used to burn with words I never said. A storm inside my chest, a fire I fed. But silence turned to sorrow, pain I wore each day, till I heard a whisper in the flame that showed another way. Turn this fire into light, turn the rage into the night, where I can see what's real, not fight, where I can heal, not hide. Lord, take this fury in my soul and teach it how to glow. Turn this fire into light. I broke things I can't replace and prayed that grace could find this face. But you waited, never far. You turned my scars into stars. This anger was a cry for love. Wounds unspoken, never enough. But now I know I'm not alone. Your peace has made my heart a home. Turn this fire into light. Let it guide me through the night. No more burning bridges down. I'm building holy ground. Lord, take this fire in my chest and use it for the best. Turn this fire into light. You turn this fire into light.
When anger burns, let my healing message bring you peace. Release the fire and embrace my love.